Hi, guys, and welcome back to When Life Gets Strange, episode 11. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. So, this is my third time recording this podcast. The first time I recorded in my travel trailer, and the heater was on, and you could just hear this rumbling background noise, and it just didn't work. And the second time, it just didn't sound right as I was listening back to it. I mixed up some words. So, third time should be the charm today, right? So, today we're going to talk about having a growth versus a fixed mindset. And so, to start off with, a fixed mindset was proposed by Stanford professor Carol Dweck in her book Mindset. And it describes people who see their qualities as fixed traits that they cannot change. With a fixed mindset, talent is enough to lead to success, and effort to improve those talents is not required. One is born with a certain amount of skill and intelligence, and you cannot improve upon it. However, a growth mindset says that you can always grow, that you can actively be learning new things and becoming better. A growth mindset is a commitment to self love, self worth, and to helping yourself grow. So, the great news is you can learn to have a growth mindset. Part of having a growth mindset, I have a couple of examples for you. First off, we're going to learn Michael Jordan. He's one of the best basketball players ever. A lot of people think he is the best. However, when he was in high school, he was already playing on a basketball team and he tried out for an advanced team in his high school and he didn't get it. And he could have decided that was it. That was all he had. That was his talent. But he didn't. He continued to practice and he got better through practicing. Thomas Edison is another great example of a growth mindset. He continued trying until he invented electricity. Can you imagine what it would be like today if he quit? Do you think we'd even have electricity? I don't know. But he had that growth mindset. So part of the growth mindset is we have the growth triad, where a person in the growth triad is seeking growth. They're willing to embrace the discomfort and to spend massive amount of energy wisely. So somebody with a fixed mindset will have the attitude of I'm either good at it or I'm not. A growth mindset, I can learn to do anything I want. And so for me, that means I've been working on learning to be a better life coach. I've gone to the life coach school. I'm taking classes in psychology. I've taken life coach classes through Liberty University, where I'm working on my degree. I take the classes that the military offers, the resiliency training. I am learning. A fixed mindset says, if I don't try, then I won't fail. Whereas a growth mindset says, failures are just opportunities for growth. So my daughters have been working on cartwheels and they could just give up. They say, this is too hard. I can't do it. Or they can keep trying and they get better each time they try. Another example is I'm jealous of other people's success versus I'm inspired by other people's success. And so as I look at other life coaches around me, that's what kind of comes in. Sometimes I want to say, oh, there's enough life coaches out there. There's a lot of people putting this good out. Why would you guys want to work with me? They're already successful. But then when I think about it and I'm inspired by their growth, I'm inspired when I see the clients that I'm working with grow. And I recognize, you know what? As a military spouse with 18 years in, having done 9 deployments and countless TDYs, I have something to offer other military spouses that some of these other life coaches don't. My experience as a military spouse, my experience of raising 6 kids and having a baby while my husband was going from basic to AIT. I have a lot to offer you ladies because I've been where you're at. I've asked in some of the Facebook groups some of the challenges that you guys have, and I've experienced most of them. So anything that you bring that you need help with, I've been there. I've walked through that. And even more than that, I'm not going to judge you for whatever you're feeling for it. So when I'm trying to compare myself to other people's successes, then I'm in this fixed mindset and I'm not serving you to the best of my ability. But when I'm inspired by them and I'm like, look what is possible out there, then I'm showing up as my best self for you guys. Another example of a fixed mindset is failure is the limit of my abilities versus the growth mindset that failure is just an opportunity to grow. So maybe I'm trying to lose weight. That's a goal that I'm working on right now. I have my own life coach who's helping me with that. And when I'm like, oh, I didn't lose any weight this week, I guess I just can't, then I'm not making any progress because I'm not willing to look and see what could be different versus when I'm like, I didn't lose weight this week. What's going on? And I look and I think about the foods that I've eaten. Oh, you had ice cream like 10 times this week and there's only 7 days. So that means maybe you had ice cream a couple of days more than once. What happens if I only ate ice cream once a day or 3 times a week? And I'm willing to continue to try and to tweak my diet because I want to grow. I want to become the next version of myself. Another fixed mindset is when I'm frustrated, I give up versus the growth mindset of when I'm frustrated, I keep going. So I don't know if you guys have checked out my website. If you haven't, it's mariastrangecoaching.com. I did that on my own. I learned how to do it. I watched a lot of YouTube videos and there was a lot of frustration. And there were days when I would tell my husband, I'm done with this. I just can't do it. I give up. And he'd be like, okay, if that's what you want. And I'm like, well, I don't want to give up because I want to serve you guys. I want to be an example to other military spouses of what is possible when you put your mind to it and when you're frustrated and you don't give up. And that's such a great growth. I have learned so much. I'm able to look at other people's websites and see things that I like or that I don't like, and I'm able to incorporate it. And it has been so great to learn and to grow and to use these other parts of my brain that maybe I hadn't been using before. Another fixed mindset is I only stick to what I know, or I don't mind trying new things. So my husband and I, we've always loved to try new things, be it making t-shirts, doing vinyl, woodworking, tried some painting, whatever it is. We're always up for the next thing. And it is so fun because we grow and we learn something new. We make homemade soda. We're making kefir. That growth mindset has kept our marriage, a spark alive as we're trying new things. And it's just helped us both to grow individually and together. Another fixed mindset is if I don't try, then I won't fail. Versus the growth mindset, I only fail when I stop trying. So, for example, the fixed mindset today, after I recorded 2 podcast episodes that just didn't turn out, I could have just said, I'm done with this and stopped trying. But here I am recording the 3rd one because I only fail when I stop trying. And I want to put these podcasts out to you guys. I want to put good out into the world to help you grow, to help me grow together. So another part of having a growth mindset is willing to be vulnerable, is being the truest you, putting it out there. So for me, that's sharing when I'm really frustrated that my husband's in the field again, or that he has to miss another anniversary, and being real and vulnerable and sharing that stuff with you guys and being willing to continue showing up over and over again. So to really be successful, you have to learn that the failure when you're trying new things means nothing about you. It's just part of the journey. So some things that you can do to help you to get a growth mindset is to learn, what are your values? How are you? Look at your values. What are they? Pick one that you want to work on and go ahead and set a goal that feels aligned and purposeful, and then go to your future self. That's one of my favorite things to do, is to use the next version of myself and to ask myself, what would she do? How would she show up in this situation? And to really think about it, and then to try to tap into her, because that's going to make me grow. That's going to make me sit in some discomfort. And I've learned that the struggles of growth, that's what helps me to grow the most. When I'm having a challenging time in my life. There's a hardship going on and it's a hard struggle, and I'm showing up anyways, and I'm being discomfort, like uneasy about it, but I'm showing up and I'm choosing to use my energy wisely. That's what helps the growth to be so amazing. And the next thing is to really recognize that our brains can learn and grow. Neuroplasticity is a fairly newer concept, but it shows that our brains can still grow, that we can change our habits, that we can become the next version of ourselves. In some ways that really help with that is to eat healthy foods, to get enough sleep, drink enough water, to lower our screen time. Maybe if you spend 6 hours a day, you do 5 hours a day, just a little bit less. Five, four, 6, 5.5, whatever it is. Be willing to try new things, learn new things. I love reading educational books about marriage and family. I love learning about it. I love learning about all the different life coaching techniques and these different things. And as I'm striving to learn and grow, then I get to come here and share that with each of you. And that is so awesome. Playing. Tonight I played Uno with my girls, going out on walks, hanging out with friends, building positive relationships, getting outdoors. All of these things help your brain to be ready to grow and to change. And our brains are pretty amazing. They can grow and they can heal themselves. And then also, when things aren't going our way and we feel like, oh, I failed at this, what else could be true? And so, a good example in my life was during one of my husband's deployment, maybe even this last deployment. They kind of blend together for me. But my son was dealing with some depression, and he told his friend that he was feeling suicidal, and the cops showed up and they had to take him to the hospital. And when he was asked why he was feeling that way, he said, because mom doesn't spend enough time with me. And there might be some truth to that, but it's not all true. What else in that situation could be true? He was missing dad. He was sad that dad has missed out on different things. He, there was COVID going on, and he just wasn't feeling 100%. And it was safe for him to blame me. And so I really took on a lot of that shame and that guilt for a little bit. But then through working through self coaching and working with my own life coach, she asked me, what else could be true? What else could be going on? Are you spending enough time with him? And I'm like, I felt like I was spending lots of time. I was trying to do things with him one on one, taking him out driving and really trying to go out on dates with my kids and just find ways to be with them. And she's like, so you believed you were doing your best? I'm like, yeah, I really do. But one of the things that really helped me is I came up with the thought that I can take whatever my children throw at me, that I am a safety net because I am the constant. Whereas Spencer is deployed and he's coming and going with field exercises and TDYs and whatever else the military, the Army has him off doing. And that's fine. I'm here. I'm constant. I'm safe. So if you need someone to blame for how you're feeling or just to be mad at, I can take it. I can take whatever my kids throw at me, and I'm willing to have some of that discomfort and to use my energy to show up as the mom that I want to show up as. And that's spending time with them one on one if they want to. That might be going for a walk, whatever it looks like, as long as I feel like I'm doing my best and I'm trying new ways to connect with them, then I'm doing great. And I'm working on growing that relationship and I'm working on growing myself, and it's all good. So reframe, what else could be true in that situation when something doesn't go the way you want? If you're really mad and irritated at your husband's deployed, what else could be true? Oh, he's serving his country. I'm going to learn how to rely on other people. I'm going to learn to serve more. Like there's so many other things that could be true. And so look for that. And just recognize we're not going to feel great all of the time. Sometimes it's just going to feel crappy, and that's okay because it's from the struggles that growth comes. So, moving on, next, another type of fixed mindset that people have is I'm not popular enough to be on Instagram. And a growth mindset might say, I'll learn from others and make better content. And so I'm on Instagram. You can find me at Maria Strange Coaching. And I just got an Instagram manager. My daughter is going to manage it for me. And she's like, look, mom, we want to do it this way. And it's looking so much better than when I just started out and I was just randomly posting things, and I'm learning and we're making it better. Follow me. I'm not very big on Instagram yet, and that's okay because I'm learning from others. I'm taking classes. The next one is I feel threatened by others people's success, or I feel inspired by other people's success. I love working with clients and seeing them make success, whether that's, oh my goodness, I feel so much more connected to my spouse, or I lost the 30 pounds that I wanted to lose. Thank you so much. I'm so inspired by each of you that I have worked with, whether that's in person or through texting, or just that you've watched a class and you're like, or read one of my weekly emails. You can sign up for those on my website at mariastrangecoaching.com. I send one out every Wednesday, and they're like, oh, I just needed that point of view. So be excited about other people's success. Let it inspire you to move to the next version of who you want to be. There's going to be some discomfort either way, and humans were designed to grow. However, we also want everybody to like us. So we got to watch for that, right? Like, we want to grow, but then we might be worried about leaving our friends behind, or maybe we're not going to mesh. It's all going to work out okay. So part of the reason I do this podcast is because I want to help other military spouses grow. And this podcast helps me to grow as I get on here and I share. I become better at public speaking. I become more articulate in how I want to say the things I want. But sometimes my brain is like, no, leave the podcast to the people who have done it forever. But if I did that, then I wouldn't be here helping you. And I would rather be have some discomfort and share the things that I'm learning. And hopefully it reaches one of you and it helps you to up-level your life. It helps you to feel more connected during a deployment or when your husband's gone TDY. And you're like, that was exactly what I needed today. So choose growth. Choose to become the person you want to be. The person who doesn't resent her husband's job. The person who goes out and applies for the job, even though she, in the back of her mind, she's like, I'm only going to be here for 2 or 3 years. What's the point? But you go and you do it anyways, because you know that job will help you to grow. The person who loses all of her weight and knows how to eat to maintain it. It's all possible. And watching you guys transform and watching myself transform is so exciting. It's amazing. It's my purpose to help you guys. Like, I love it. I want to connect with you. And it's through that growth mindset. It's through being willing to be uncomfortable at times, to choose how to spend my energy wisely, to choose growth. And sometimes that's hard. Like, my 9-year-old, a lot of times she's like, Mom, you're choosing to work instead of hanging out with me. And sometimes that mom guilt comes up and I'm like, oh, she's right. I'm not hanging out with her right now. And then I have to remind myself, I do a lot of things with my kids. I go to the park, I play Uno, I make time for them. And it's okay for me to do this because it helps me to be the best me possible. It helps me to grow as a mom, but it also allows me to help you guys to get this good out into the world, because it has so fully transformed my life as I've learned these tools, and I want to see it change your life too. So another fixed mindset is I'm just who I am and I can't change, versus the growth mindset. I'm constantly evolving. I'm a work in progress. And I love that one, that I'm constantly evolving. I'm a work in progress because there's always that next goal. As I learn more things, then there's other things that I want to learn. As I build a website, there's the next step to it. As I learn to make a podcast, there's something else to learn. I get to learn more editing. As I work with each of you and you have different challenges and things that you bring, I get to grow a little bit more right alongside of you. And it is amazing. And the last one that I want to leave you with, a fixed mindset. If you succeed, I feel threatened, versus a growth mindset. If you succeed, I am inspired. And I am inspired by each of you every day as you continue to grow and to change your lives, as you build better connections with your soldier, as you find the jobs that you love and you lose the weight, as you set these goals and you reach them, whether it's a goal to get kids to bed, lose 30 pounds, find a job, just to feel like you're not surviving every day. That one is so huge. Maybe it's getting kids into jammies at bedtime and deciding, oh, I don't need that fight. And it just frees up so much mind drama for you. As you succeed, I am inspired. And that's the best thing about a growth mindset, is that it really helps you to become the best you possible. And it's a continual thing. You're going to continue to grow. You're going to be willing to sit in some discomfort. And most importantly, you're going to choose how to spend your time wisely. And having a growth mindset, it is not selfish at all. It is self-love to the fullest. As you have a growth mindset, it allows you to be the best you possible, to be the best wife, the best mom, the best friend. It allows you to set your goals, to feel like you have a purpose, and it just helps you to be who you want to be. And that's what I'm here for, to help you be the person you want to be, to help you find joy in the journey. So if you like this podcast, please share it. Leave me a review. Leave a comment down below. I would love to hear them. If there's something you want to learn about, shoot me a message. And as always, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Maria Strange Coaching. And we'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye.